Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for requesting this private session that Jannine and I are getting ready to do. If you listen to the podcast, you've learned a bit about emotional freedom techniques and how they work. And now I really want you to get that hands-on experience of trying it yourself. And we're going to do it on a topic that I think is going to be really relevant for anybody who's human. So we're going to work on overwhelm. So Jannine, I'd love it if you told me, I guess how overwhelm affects you the most, or how you think it affects your listeners the most, or both.
Yeah, I can talk both. Myself, of course. I get anxious, and then I start to get scatterbrained, and I'm like ping, 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 all these different directions, and nothing gets done. And so that's kind of how overwhelm shows up for me. My mind just goes in this downward spiral. And then it's like, this day sucks. Everything's terrible. And then of course it happens like that because I just programmed myself to have a crappy day. So that's how it presents to me. I mean, I think for a lot of my patients and clients, it's the same kind of thing. It just shows up where all the circuits are getting overloaded. And there's just this overwhelming sensation of, I don't know what to do next.
Okay. Are you a to-do list person?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And do you have those days where there's all those things and yet at the end of the day, none of them have gotten done?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So frustrating. There's this satisfaction of checking that box, right? And you're like, at the end of the day, when all the boxes are checked, it's like best day ever, which is so bizarre. But
it is. And I completely relate. That's how I used to kind of live my life. It was live and die by the to-do list. And then one day I was like, oh, this is not how I want to live. I don't want that list, those check marks, those little dopamine hits to be what equals a good day for me. And then there were some shifts that were made. I still use to-do lists. I would forget the things that need to get to done if I didn't, but I don't live and die by it as much or depend on it for that feedback. I depend more on my own inner feelings for, am I on the right track? So let's see. How does overwhelm feel to you when you feel it?
It feels like the shaking from the inside out. I feel like all of my nerves, like I have this vibration that's doing this kind of thing.
Okay.
I used to call them like that wah, wah, wah kind of thing. I feel like my whole body's doing that. And then internally, I just feel even, I won't see myself shake, but I feel like when I do anything, there's this level of almost like when you don't trust yourself doing something or you're nervous about something, that happens with like every move I do that day. That's kind of how it plays out, which for people listening that I work on for acupuncture is probably like, oh my gosh. I can chill it for that. But
yeah, we're human. We all have moments when our intuition gets a little bit weak.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, and we don't trust ourselves as much, but we can work on that too. So there's that shaking feeling from the inside out. Is there anywhere specific that you feel it in your body? Like your chest, or do you have trouble breathing or anything like that? Do you start to kind of notice that you're not taking deep breaths?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I feel it in my chest. I'll feel it most kind of in my chest and then like in my arms and legs too. Somehow like down to the bone, it will feel like that. Every single move I make, every single step feels much like that.
Yeah. Kind of tense and rigid.
Yeah. Tense, rigid, but with this like weird weakness. And it's like this nervous, like something's taken over me in a way. Yeah.
It's interesting that we're doing this on a Monday morning, this recording, because I feel like Mondays can tend to be the day when it's like you're staring at all the things that you wish the week will fulfill for you. And that can kind of really bring it on. Did Mondays tend to be worse for you, or?
It's funny, like, yes, Mondays I'm always like waking up and going like, oh man, all right, I got to do this and this, just like probably everyone else in the world. But funny enough, I programmed myself for Tuesdays to be worse because my work day for so many years started on Tuesdays. So it was like Monday was still an extension of the weekend, and Tuesdays just kind of took it to the next level.
And do you still feel that way?
It's starting to subside, but it still has been going on, even though I changed my whole practice, everything. It's wild.
That's interesting. Mm-hmm. And what other things, other than the things on your to-do list, do you find overwhelming? Anything else specific, or is it just when there's a day that's too busy, or?
Unknowns. That's another thing when there's something new and I don't know how it's going to go, or, something. For example, I have a patient that's, not a patient, but when there's someone coming in that's got a lot of things going on and I'm going, how am I going to help them? Sometimes I'll get a little bit like that too, in that case. But the rest of my life seems to not exactly, nothing comes up there. It seems to be very connected to work and work situations in that case.
So do you ever feel overwhelmed on the weekends? I don't know if you work on the weekends or not.
No, the weekends are so chill. Like as soon as Friday afternoon hits, it does seem to be like, oh, okay.
So it's figuring out how to really reclaim your power and your inner peace when you're working.
Yeah.
Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single round of EFT tapping.
Okay.
And have you done this before?
I have. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you know a little bit about it. Everybody does it a little bit differently. We're going to kind of set things up using the karate chop point, and then we're going to go through the other 8 main points: the top of the head, the eyebrow, the outside of the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, the collarbone, which is actually right under the collarbone, actually, and then under the arm, pretty much like where your bra strap goes across your body. And you'll just follow the leader with me and repeat after me. And what we want to do first is we want to assess, like, how overwhelmed are you feeling? So just as I'm sure you ask your patients about their pain level and things, we're going to say, like, on that scale of 0 to 10, how is the overwhelm, with 10 being the worst and 0 being like that weekend chill? Where are you on the scale right now?
I'd say probably a 6 today.
Okay, cool. And for all of you who are listening to this recording, go ahead and write down your number 2. I often say that people don't realize how powerful they are, and they like to discount the progress that they make when they do a round of tapping. So people might be at like a 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even a 10 at the beginning, and then they get down so low that they're like, oh, it must not have been that bad. But it was, and you just did something amazing for yourself, and you should be able to give yourself that credit and feel the empowerment of the energetic shifts that happen as you do this. So we're at a 6 to begin with, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of set things up, and we're going to go through those points, and at the end we'll revisit it. We'll see what kind of aha moments or changes you experienced. And again, just realize it's just one round. This is going to be kind of what I would think of as kind of like a Band-Aid application of this. I don't remember if we talked about things this way on your show or not, but we can do deeper work where we can like really kind of remove that overwhelm in a more lasting way, or we can do kind of in the moment stuff that's kind of helping us with right here and now, but probably next early week, you're going to feel the same thing again. And then you could kind of do this again to bring it back down again. But it's until you get to the root cause of the overwhelm that you can really make it go away forever. So this will be able to kind of take off some layers of it and definitely have you feel better. And it's something that you could do anytime you're feeling overwhelmed. So it could be a Band-Aid that you use over and over and over again. But I always suggest when people have the time or the willingness to do more deeper work, then they can really make that lasting impact when they won't notice things kind of jumping up on that overwhelm scale as much for them. So just first take a nice deep breath, a nice in through the nose, out through the mouth, deep breath. Really just kind of feel yourself there in your body. Feel any of that overwhelm that you have going on, if it's in your chest or your arms or your head or your legs or your back or just in your mind. Just feel it. And then we're going to start by tapping on the side of the hand. And I'm going to have you repeat after me. And for all of you who are listening, just do this along with us. EFT likes it when you're specific. So if you're doing this along with us and I'm saying something that doesn't quite align, but you know something that does align more with what you're feeling, change the words, make it fit you and suit the way that you're personally feeling. Even though I'm feeling so overwhelmed this morning.
Even though I'm feeling so overwhelmed this morning.
There's so much to do.
There's so much to do.
I don't know where to start.
I don't know where to start.
And my worst fear
is
that I'll get through this day without accomplishing any of it. And even though I feel that way, I want to love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though I feel this overwhelm deeply in my body. And it really disrupts my day. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I hate the way this overwhelm chips away at my self-trust
Chips away at my self-trust.
and makes me doubt myself.
It makes me doubt myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
All this overwhelm
All this overwhelm
feels like a shaking from the inside out.
feels like a shaking from the inside out.
I can't concentrate or get anything done.
I can't concentrate or get anything done.
And I feel this way because I have so much I need to concentrate on and get done.
I feel this way because I have so much I need to concentrate on and get done.
So it's like I'm stuck in a loop,
So it's like I'm stuck in a loop.
and my intuition goes out the window.
My intuition goes out the window.
And I feel so weakened.
I feel so weakened.
And I don't trust myself as much as I'd like to.
And I don't trust myself as much as I'd like to.
Feel it in my chest.
I feel it in my chest.
I'm not breathing as deeply as I'd like to.
I'm not breathing as deeply as I'd like to.
And I really just want this feeling to go away.
I really just want this feeling to go away.
I really just want to be able to get so much done today.
I really just want to be able to get so much done today.
But there's so much resistance.
But there's so much resistance.
And I want the dopamine hit of checking off those boxes.
And I want the dopamine hit of checking up those boxes.
And then I'll feel like I'm really calling my power back.
Then I'll feel like I'm really calling my power back.
But there is just so much to do.
There's just so much to do.
And so much resistance to it all.
So much resistance to it all.
I feel like I'm pushing to get things done.
I feel like I'm pushing to get things done.
I feel like I'm struggling and striving.
I feel like I'm struggling and striving.
And I really just want to feel like I'm in the flow.
I really just want to feel like I'm in the flow.
So stuck in these loops.
So stuck in these loops.
And the worse it gets, the worse it gets.
And the worse it gets, the worse it gets.
I don't want to give up.
I don't want to give up.
And I keep fighting.
And I keep fighting.
What if I were allowing instead?
What if I were allowing instead?
Because all these things on my list
Because all these things on my list
are supposed to get me to a place
are supposed to get me a place
where I feel calm
where I feel calm
and clear
and clear
and confident.
and confident.
What if I were to start with a little bit of that?
What if I were to start with a little bit of that?
Wouldn't it be good if I was feeling that the whole time I was getting the list done?
Wouldn't it be good if I was feeling that the whole time I was getting the list done?
I'll just keep going.
I'll just keep going.
Maybe I can enjoy where I am
Maybe I can enjoy where I am
while I move forward day by day
while I move forward day by day
and feel anticipation and gratitude
and feel anticipation and gratitude
for all that I've already accomplished,
for all that I've already accomplished,
knowing that all of the rest of it
knowing that all the rest of it
is simply waiting for me to align with it.
is simply waiting for me to align with it.
And how I feel right now
And how I feel right now
is always the most important thing.
is always the most important thing.
There's no getting to the feeling.
There's no getting to the feeling.
It's all about now.
All about now.
What can I do to bring myself more peace?
What can I do to bring myself more peace?
What can I do to enhance my feelings of health?
What can I do to enhance my feelings of health?
What's going to make me feel really good about me today?
What's going to make me feel really good about me today?
I want to embrace all of that.
I want to embrace all of that.
No more pushing against what is.
No more pushing against what is.
I can use my desires to direct my current emotions.
I can use my desires to correct my current emotions.
And align them with the feeling that I want to have once these things are accomplished.
With the feeling I want to have once I have these things accomplished.
I can feel that now.
I can feel that now.
And it will draw it to me so much sooner.
And it will draw it to me so much sooner.
Because the better it gets.
Because the better it gets.
The better it gets to be.
Better it gets to be.
And the better I feel.
And the better I feel.
The easier I align with what I want.
The easier I align with what I want.
I don't have to struggle and strive to accomplish these things.
I don't have to struggle and strive to accomplish these things.
I think I might surprise myself.
I think I might surprise myself
with how easy it actually could be.
With how easy it actually could be.
If I just let go a little bit.
I just let go a little bit.
Clearing this resistance.
Clearing this resistance.
Down to a cellular level.
Down to a cellular level.
It's safe to release this overwhelm.
It's safe to release this overwhelm.
And I think I'll enjoy my day a whole lot more if I do.
I think I'll enjoy my day a whole lot more if I do.
Now we're going to go to the sides of the fingers. With love.
With love.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Peace.
Peace.
And joy.
Joy.
I call my power back into my body.
I call my power back into my body.
It is safe to release this overwhelm.
It is safe to release this overwhelm.
It is safe to have fun as I get things done.
It's safe to have fun as I get things done.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
All right, another one of those nice deep breaths in through the nose. And out through the mouth. How did that feel for you?
Good. I kind of got into like a little trancey zone there.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. A little self-hypnosis there and tapping. Perfect. Any aha moments or things that really resonated or any difference that you're feeling?
Yeah, I feel a lot lighter right now. I feel like, oh, okay, lighter but grounded. Doesn't make sense, but yeah, I do. And I felt like halfway through, like finally I could breathe a little bit while I was talking, because I felt like I was holding my breath a little bit more while talking.
Yeah.
And things kind of evened out a little bit too. So
awesome. Yeah. So if we revisit that scale, the subjective units of distress scale, where you were a 6 before, where do you feel like you are now?
I feel like I'm a 1.
Awesome.
Pretty chill.
That is a great shift. So now you can just kind of pay attention through the day if it's climbing back up again. And it's really easy to just go in and do a little bit of that. Not as, complex as what we did, but even just a kind of side of the hand, even though this overwhelm's creeping up on me again, I love, accept, and forgive myself. You can just repeat something like that 3 times. And you can just do something as simple as this overwhelm, releasing this overwhelm, it's safe to release the overwhelm, that kind of thing. Just go 3 times through those points. And you'll probably find that you feel good all over again. And, you're just releasing those different things along those meridian points, which you're very familiar with. And you just never know which point your overwhelm is really like blocked at. So by hitting all of those a few times through, you really have a good chance of getting that kind of energetic overhaul and really kind of clearing it all. So thank you so much for doing that with me this morning.
No problem. Thanks.
I hope that's a fun way to start your Monday off, feeling a little bit less overwhelmed than normal.
Yeah, I'm like, I think I need to do this every Monday morning, pretty much every morning probably, but Monday for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I said, you can use it like a Band-Aid when you need it. You can go a little deeper and explore some other feelings if you have more time, it's but it's great because it's so easy to do it whenever and wherever you have just a few minutes. So thank you so much for joining me. And thank you all for tapping along with us. If you had a shift yourself, if you want to tell us about it, please feel free to send me an email, Theresa@theresalearlevine.com. I love hearing what happens for people, what resonates. And if you want to hear from people, I'm happy for you to give your email address as well, Jannine.
Yeah, it's info@drjkrause, KRAUSEND.com.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys for tapping along with us and have an awesome rest of your day.